Today on Hollywood's 10 Best.
How was school?
Worst day of my life? What do you think?
Best Buds.
Gangsters, what's up, guys?
And Class Duds.
Was this some kind of new dork outreach program?
Get out your number 2 pencils.
School's over.
Hollywood's 10 Best High School Comedies starts now.
Okay, well, one time at band camp, I stuck a flute.
At number 10, Jason Biggs is a sex-crazed teen who finally gets a piece of American Pie.
We'll just tell your mother that we ate it all.
This movie is so raunchy, it took 4 times for them to cut it down to just get an R rating. Body fluids are drank by accident, people are pooping their pants, and band instruments, most famously, are being put probably where they shouldn't.
I read it and I was more like, I get to put what, where? All right.
And I read it and I was like, Allison gets to put what, where?
Sweet. You bad boy.
This movie came out of nowhere. There's no big stars in it, and the biggest name was Eugene Levy, who plays Jim's dad. But the franchise was good to him because he starred in 3 sequels, plus all the American Pie direct-to-video spin-offs.
I was in a store, and the store clerk, and it was like really early, and he looks over and he goes, "Oh, Jim's dad." And like, it was odd hearing somebody say Jim's dad.
American Pie stood the test of time because even though it's loaded with super crass sex jokes, the movie has got a heart of gold, and ultimately that's something everyone can buy into.
It's still to this day, like, you know, people rent it or this or that. Like, you still can't even get away from American Pie.
It did such great things for everyone, and it was all very positive, so why would we want to disassociate ourselves?
If you want to hook up with her, tell her you love her. That's how I was do.
In our number 9 flick, Freddie Prinze Jr. takes Rachel Lee Cook from not to hot. A classic gets a serious makeover in She's All That.
I'll pick the girl, and you got 6 weeks to turn her into the prom queen. Gentlemen, we have a winner.
Rachel Lee Cook is like Clark Kent in this movie, because she's obviously super hot, but just because she's in glasses, nobody can tell.
I like glasses. The movie is based on Pygmalion by George Bernard Shaw, which is also the inspiration for My Fair Lady, which, let's face it, high school kids do not give a crap about. What they care about is this nerdy art student named Laney Boggs getting turned into a stone-cold fox.
This was a guy that I was always looking at in high school, and I never was. I was more like Laney, which was like one of the main reasons why I did the film, because it was a chance for me to kind of look at myself through everyone else's eyes.
Freddie and the rest of the cast got to relive their high school experience without having to go to class or do homework. I mean, they played soccer games with the cast and crew and even had their own prom. Who wouldn't be jealous?
I had this whole vicarious high school experience without the work, which was amazing. And I mean, we got to go to a soccer game, we went to the prom, we had a real graduation, and it was just amazing. It was so much fun.
The prom scene in She's All That wasn't even originally scripted, but the cast found out the director choreographed things such as Jesus Christ Superstar, so they begged him to put the dance scene in, and he did, and it's awesome.
Everybody kind of found out about this, and they were like, we want a dance sequence. In the end of the movie, a big grand finale. And all of a sudden, I'm in the middle of all these amazing dancers.
And it was so strange because none of us had really been to a prom before.
I feel just like Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman, except for that whole hooker thing.
Up next, why nobody in Napoleon Dynamite is gonna be asked to the prom.
There's hardly a good-looking person in the film at all.
This is Hollywood's 10 Best High School Comedies. At number 8, boom, it's Napoleon Dynamite.
I see you're drinking 1%. Is that because you think you're fat?
Being the most socially awkward kid in school doesn't stop Napoleon from helping a new student run for class president.
What kind of bike do you have?
It's a sledgehammer.
These are some of the oldest actors in high school movie history. John Heder was 27. Efren Ramirez was 31. I'm surprised they even allowed these actors near a high school.
Hey, is that a new kid or something?
Napoleon, this is Pedro. Would you mind showing him where his locker is?
Sure.
Napoleon Dynamite is about as indie a production as you can get. They only had 22 days to shoot it, which is nothing compared to a big budget motion picture, and John Heder only got $1,000 to star in the thing.
Definitely, you don't have as much money as you want. It's too bad.
Just technically, you got to work a little bit harder because you don't have big names, so it's harder to get things, but we had enough money to make the film.
Is that on my driveway?
That's my ride.
There are no big stars in this movie. The producers wanted to cast unknowns because they wanted everyone to be as awkward as possible. I mean, look at Napoleon. He's got this crazy perm. You don't see him smile once. They really wanted to be a very different high school flick.
I love teen comedies, and so, I mean, at least a couple of years ago, I got really into renting every teen comedy I could, because, even though a lot of them were very similar, it was just, you get into that same rut, and I like watching that stuff.
Jeez. At number 7, Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill head back to high school as overage, undercover cops trying to bust a drug ring. It's 21 Jump Street.
The movie really plays off the idea that these guys are reliving the high school experiences that they never had.
I love the joke here, that they're just way too old to ever actually be believable as high school students. Someone needs to call the cops on these cops.
Now, Jonah Hill had to beg Channing Tatum to be in this movie. Channing had just come off the reunion comedy 10 Years and had no interest in going back to high school.
I was just jock, that was it. I slept through every class and tried to play as much sports as I possibly could.
I went to my acting class in my high school to go talk to the students, and I had never met the acting teacher before, who'd been there for 20 years. We just had never met each other before, and I think I'm her only Academy Award nominated student.
The movie is based on the TV series from the 80s, and this was the show that launched Johnny Depp's career. But after 82 episodes, he was ready to quit and make the jump to movies.
I've been on 21 Jump Street for 4 seasons now, and this sort of mainstream television thing, so it was important for me to do something that was the furthest, away from that.
Johnny makes a hilarious cameo in the movie. His only condition to the directors was that his series co-star Peter DeLuise had to be in it as well, because Johnny's looking out for his bud.
We tried to honor the spirit of the original material, but then kind of make something new. I feel like people get fatigued with somebody just kind of remaking something. You kind of need to give your own spin to it.
Get ready for the party to end all parties. At number 6, Jennifer Love Hewitt and Seth Green can't hardly wait to graduate.
Can't feel my legs. I can't feel my legs!
It's the last night where you can finally, or so they think, shed that stereotype they've been branded with, or talk to that one person they've always wanted to talk to, or get revenge on that one person who's been picking on them for 4 years, and finally say, this is the real me.
I remember when Can't Hardly Wait came out, and it was pretty much the who's who of everyone who was popular and all the posters I had on my wall.
If you wanted to recast this movie today, you couldn't do it because almost everybody in that thing became super famous.
Jennifer Love Hewitt had just finished I Know What You Did Last Summer, as well as Party of 5.
And school's over.
We knew Seth Green from Austin Powers, and we knew Ethan Embry had just come off of Vegas Vacation.
They say here 92% of honeys at UCLA sexually active. 92% of women in Los Angeles at UCLA walking around going, class or sex.
Seth Green plays Kenny, and he's one of the standouts in the movie. He's crass, vulgar, and completely clueless when it comes to relating to other people. But by the end of the movie, you realize he's actually a pretty sweet guy.
Hey, yo, Kareem, baby, what's up?
I'm a big fan of the Seth Green-Lauren Ambrose subplot where the two of them get locked in a bathroom together. They confess their feelings, they end up getting down. It's pretty sweet.
It's a very kind of hopeful take on what could happen when you're in high school.
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go do it right now.
Up next, how did a crappy movie inspire Superbad?
I was like, that movie's terrible. We can do better than that.
This is Hollywood's 10 Best High School Comedies.
Gangsters, what's up, guys?
When two buddies try to be the life of the party, they have a night they'll never forget. Superbad is super good at number 5.
Jonah Hill and Michael Cera play Seth and Evan, the most hilarious possible version of Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, who wrote the screenplay. Now, on screen, these two look like they're having a blast, and luckily, they did not have to fake it.
A month before the movie started, we started hanging out, getting to know each other, and we have a mutual friend, which made it easier to, we kind of
The three of us could hang out. You know when you hear girls saying like, "Oh, I was so gone last night, I shouldn't have slept with that guy." We could be that mistake.
This movie was Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg's breakthrough movie, and they'd been friends ever since meeting in Hebrew school in Vancouver.
What's your ID?
Yeah, I think I have it.
I mean, we started writing movies. We started writing Superbad because we watched a movie, which I honestly can't remember what movie it was. We were drunk. And I was like, that movie's terrible. We can do better than that. And so we went and we tried.
We wrote it when we were in high school for the most part, so most teen movies aren't written by guys who are actually living it, I guess. For better or for worse.
You know who's a huge fan of Superbad? Who? Rappers. Yeah. Rihanna, Kanye West, Eminem, they love it. Yeah. Eminem even samples some of the dialogue in Superbad in one of his songs.
Changed your name to McLovin? McLovin? What kind of a stupid name is that, Fogel? What, are you trying to be an Irish R&B singer?
At number 4, Emma Stone is looking for love, but she gets tagged with a bad reputation in Easy A.
Easy A is based on the book The Scarlet Letter, which a lot of people are forced to read in high school. Now, in the movie, everyone thinks Emma's character is sleeping around with all the guys, but it's all just rumors. She even wears the letter A on her chest, just like the book. And now, thanks to me, you don't have to read it. You're welcome.
Playing this role was a real stretch for Emma. Turns out, our girl was homeschooled.
I was in the Me group, which consisted of me just being me.
What makes this story modern is how the kids are using social media to spread the rumors. And all I can say is thank God they didn't have social media back when I was in high school.
The speed of the exchange of information and the way relationships can materialize in a moment and then disintegrate in the same moment, and things just didn't used to happen that quickly.
I had a Facebook for a long time, and then I recently deleted it because I realized that my world was becoming a bubble, and these things that make us feel more connected are sometimes separating us a little bit more.
This movie is loaded with references to classic 80s teen comedies, going heavy on the John Hughes stuff. And I don't want to spoil anything, but the climax of this movie is a pretty great nod to Can't Buy Me Love and Say Anything.
Everybody romanticizes their high school years, and so John Hughes tapped into something really basic and vital that everyone responded to. And I think this movie does a similar thing in the sense that it's a pretty honest, accurate picture of the modern American high schooler.
As if Clueless wouldn't be on the list. At number 3, Alicia Silverstone is spending way more time on her social calendar than social studies.
Like right now, for example, the Haitians need to come to America. But some people are all, what about the strain on our resources?
First day we were shooting, we were doing the Haitian speech, which that was her idea to call it Haitians, because she has such authority about what she feels about it that she doesn't even know how to say it.
There's a couple movies on this list that are based on classic works of literature, and this is one of them. It's based on Emma by Jane Austen. Now, they didn't really promote that when the movie came out because nothing scares kids away faster than 200-year-old novels.
I want people to have a really good time with this film. I really want them to just laugh. That was my biggest concern. I was trying to make sure everybody was laughing.
Before Clueless, what she was known for was being in 3 Aerosmith videos. And director Amy Heckerling saw those videos and cast her without even an audition.
Like the rest of America that saw her, I just thought, who is that girl? I loved her.
What's up, Daddy?
What the hell is that?
A dress.
Says who?
Calvin Klein.
The characters are good, but it's the little more subtle stabs at society that kick it up a notch. I mean, they make fun of everything from cell phone culture to fashion to plastic surgery, and even the language from the movie makes its way into the real world once the movie's released.
Wow. You guys talk like grown-ups. Oh, well, this is a really good school.
Writer-director Amy Heckerling made up a new slanguage, if you will, for the world of Clueless. She took words that teenagers actually used and made up some other words that fit the tone of the movie, and it was great.
I just think it's fascinating, the language she created. I mean, because it's really what is going on now, but she just made it so beautiful and juicy.
Ew! Get off of me! Ugh, as if.
Up next, Why high school is hard, even for a hottie like Rachel McAdams.
You have to follow the rules, but the rules change, so it's sort of unfair.
This is Hollywood's 10 best high school comedies.
Oh, you've never been to a real school before? Shut up. Shut up!
I didn't say anything. You mean Lindsay Lohan is playing the nice girl? Really? Mean Girls bullies its way to number 2.
Watch out, new meat coming through.
After living in Africa, Lilo is just trying to fit in at a school that's controlled by the plastics.
Plastics? Who are the plastics?
They're teen royalty.
These girls in this movie are very into their body and what they're gonna wear the next day and what they wear every day. They have like a routine that they have to go through, so.
I knew how this would be settled in the animal world.
One of the craziest scenes in the movie is when Lindsay's imagination runs wild and the entire cafeteria turns into the animal world. It's kind of like a rave gone out of control.
Like, be a wild cat, and I'm like,
You know, at first we were like, the same thing, you know? It kind of takes a minute to get into it because, you know, you're not used to being an animal. Jonathan just freaked out for it. He totally went for it.
I didn't know what I was gonna do until the first take when the stunt double came crashing across the table and they fell down, and I knew that was the mark and I was supposed to go crazy. And that's just what came out.
Tina Fey wrote the script and she stars as Miss Norbury. Now, she was the first female head writer on SNL, so you know she's got the chops and you know everybody wanted to work with her.
The reason I did the movie was because the script was just the funniest thing I'd read in years, and working with her was a treat because, I mean, it's very unusual to have like the best punch-up writer in the business working on your movie, sitting on your set.
I talked to a few real girls and stuff, and the thing that's sort of surprising that I guess I remembered being true was like, girls will have girls that are their best friend, and they'll go, that's my best friend. And then the girl's not nice to them at all.
Get in, loser, we're going shopping.
Before we show you our number 1 high school comedy, let's have a little cram session. At number 10, American Pie is the sweetest dessert.
What exactly does it feel like? Warm apple pie.
It's a makeover miracle with She's All That at number 9. At number 8, John Heder gets our vote as Napoleon Dynamite.
Jeez.
Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill are the Buds in Blue at number 7 in 21 Jump Street. We can't hardly wait for the biggest party of the year at number 6. At number 5, romance is the name of the game in Superbad. Rumor has it that Easy A is the number 4 movie. Like we're so sure that Clueless comes in at number 3. And at number 2, Mean Girls is totally fetch. Now let's graduate to number 1. We're not saying you should ditch class, but what Matthew Broderick pulls off in Ferris Bueller's Day Off is legendary.
What are we gonna do?
The question isn't what are we going to do, the question is what aren't we going to do.
When this movie came out, it changed my life because I wanted to be Ferris. I had the poster on the wall, I used to dance like him in my room, but I knew I could never be him because I was nowhere near cool enough.
Bueller. Bueller. Bueller.
It's the last hurrah of high school. I mean, it's the end of childhood in a way. He's got this great system of friends, Ferris does, and parents and his bed, his nice cuddly bed in his room, and he's about to lose all of that.
These aren't your regular teen goals that you see in this movie. They're not out to get drunk, high, or have sex. They're just having innocent fun. They're doing things like eating fine food and taking part in a parade.
Party of 3 for 12. Is there a problem?
Some movies, you know, adults are very bad, but I think in this movie, the kids are struggling just like the adults are, in a way, which is nice. And he fools his parents, but it's very clear that Ferris loves his parents. They like him.
Jeannie, please don't be upset with me. You have your health. Be thankful.
Oh.
You can't talk about high school comedies without talking about John Hughes. He's a master of the genre, and Ferris Bueller's Day Off is not even arguably, it is the best of his movies.
I wanted to do a comedy. I wanted to do something that was to see how hard and how long I could get people to laugh.
One of my favorite things about this movie is the fact that Ferris talks right to the audience. I had never seen that before. And it's perfect because he's breaking all these rules at school, he's breaking all these rules of classical filmmaking, and I loved it.
Matthew Broderick had already done a lot of live stage work in Broadway, so he was used to the concept of the aside, or kind of talking to the camera.
If you had access to a car like this, would you take it back right away? Neither would I.
On stage, you're talking to a group of people, you know, who are laughing and responding to you, and it's kind of natural in a way. In a movie, you know, you turn to a machine, a piece of glass, and there's nobody else on the set with you, no other actors. So you feel a little self-conscious.
Yep. I said it before and I'll say it again. Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.